We're seeing Morgan Stanley, Walt Disney, even Grubhub that are in the process of letting workers go. Some of these companies say that simply they're restructuring or reducing costs just to stay competitive. So here with us for more insight is NewsNation business contributor Gary Smith. You know, Gary, every time you wake up to these headlines, you cringe, right? Because either you know someone or maybe you've been laid off. I sort of want to take a step back with you, if I may, take a macro view. You know, let's talk about this summer. Is this summer, you know, what you thought it would be for the labor market?
It's Elizabeth, it's really not. It's a lot stronger than I thought it would be. We were coming out, as you recall, not too long ago, coming out of COVID. We were coming out of supply chain problems, shortages, et cetera, et cetera. I thought the labor market would really suffer from all those effects. Instead, you know, the unemployment rate now is back near historic lows. I'm not sure at, what is it, 3.8%. It can get much lower. So those numbers you talked about, the Morgan Stanleys, the Grubhubs, I think that's kind of moving, deck chairs on the Titanic, if you will. It's just shifting around from one to another, but certainly not at all indicative of how strong the labor market is.
Okay, and I hear what you're saying, because as you mentioned, August jobs report came out Friday before the holiday, adding 187,000 jobs. So really, you have a little bit more of a positive outlook. And I want to look at, we have here the average raise for folks, and we have a graphic over the last 3 years. There's been about, what, a 37% increase in wages. How do you feel about wages is really what I'm getting at right now. Are you pleased with wages across the country?
It's always the 37% against the inflation rate that we have. And, it's barely probably keeping up. I guess it depends on what your perspective. If you're worried about inflation, then I'd worried about, ironically, wages going up, even faster. And I think they will almost have to, because the job market is getting so tight. On the flip side, if you're a wage earner, you're ecstatic about it. Maybe you can even get beyond inflation, if you will. Certainly, we did something a couple weeks ago on, I forget the company, one of the Google or somebody paying an AI person, nearly like, $950,000 a year. If you're in the right industry, you're going to be crushing it. Those industries going forward, the hot ones.
But when you talk about employers keeping up and this 37% increase, of course, that's not with everybody. Can employers keep up with this? And are they able to sustain?
They are. And here's what's going to happen. I think we're on the cusp of what AI can do, but we've certainly seen it in robotics, if you will. I'm sure you've been in your local supermarket. 5 years ago, there was almost no self-checkout. Now there's probably in many supermarkets more self-checkout than there used to be. Automation is going on in the restaurant industry. So what you're seeing is, because you can replace a lot of workers with that, you can give your other workers, a lot bigger pay. I even think you're going to see that, you kind of led off with, the Sprint T-Mobile. The workers that remain that are in artificial intelligence and some of the crucial jobs, those are the ones that are going to be paid a lot more. So can employers do it? Yes, if they reposition, some of the things that they don't need, maybe, I hate to say it, employees that they don't need, and put toward some of their more profitable areas.
All right, Gary B. Smith, I certainly wish we had more time. You're right. I have seen the robotic delivery waiter and waitress, and I have seen the palm reader at Whole Foods. So I am just trying to keep up with technology. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.